App development consists of two major components. And these components are the user interface component, which is the component responsible for the appearance and beautification of your app. It is also called the UI. 2. The non-user interface component. These are the blocks and app features. They are responsible for the background functionality of your app. What is a component? Components are the building blocks of your Thunkable app. They can help your app look a certain way or have a certain functionality. The user interface component are the components which you can see on the screen. Examples includes buttons, loading icons, and images. Thunkable also offer interactivity for app features. These features offer control of mobile-specific functions as well as non-user face interface component. Examples includes sounds, timers, camera, and sensors to name a few. Take the user interface as the physical body of human which shows the appearance of man, and the non-user interface as the internal being of man which controls all the activities of man. Also, the UI component makes up the visual aspect of your user interface on your app. Combined styled and customized Thunkable UI component gives your app personality and style that best suits your brand. Each UI component has unique properties that you can use to customize it. You can find this at the top of the Properties panel. All UI components have a section called the Layout and Style. To copy and paste components. Once you have perfected a UI component on the Design tab of a drag-and-drop project, you can duplicate it using copy and paste keyboard's shortcuts. Firstly, click on a component name in the component tree or within a screen in your workspace. 2. Type Ctrl+C or Command+C on Mac and Ctrl+C on your personal computer, to copy the component. 3. Type Ctrl+V or Command+V on Mac or Ctrl+V on your personal computer, to paste a duplicate of the component. 4. Click and drag the new component to the position you desire. App features are features which offer non-UI functionality. They often relate to your app's functionality, and are quietly running in the background. Add app features in the Blocks tab of your project. The Blocks component includes the following: speech, sound, share, camera, sign in, push notification, data sources, alerts, timers and sensors. The user interface. The user's interface component includes the following: button, label, image, text input and list viewer, web viewer, switch, slider, map, animations, video, loading icon, date input, time input, and PDF reader. Rating. Data viewers. The data viewers are of two types. These are data viewer list and data viewer grid. What next? Once you have designed the UI you want, you can start adding some functionality to your app with blocks and app features. Remember that the blocks are responsible and behind the technicality of your app. With the right use of the blocks, anything that you think can be created. Now, let's look at some of the UI component and what they are capable of doing in our app. A button. A button is just something you can click to perform an action. This action can be anything from navigating to a different screen, saving information to database, or playing a sound. The button is just like a messenger who receives a command to carry out. The first diagram shows that when button 1 is clicked, an action should be done. And what's that action? Set button 1 text to Hello Thunkers. That means when that button is clicked, the text on the button should change to Hello Thunkers. The second diagram shows that when button 1 is clicked, it is to navigate or take the users of the app screen to a label. A label is capable of displaying or allowing you to display a text in your app. With a label you can do your write-ups. From writing a books to writing a lots of things. An image. The image component lets you display pictures in your app. With the image component you can display image from camera, photo library, image recognizer, and media database. The list viewer component allows you to add, view and click on items in a list. The text input component. This allows the person using your app to type anything that they want, such as words, passwords, names, or numbers. The text input component is used when you want to get some certain informations from your users without having to text them, email them, or call them. A group is a container component. With a group component you can place UI components inside to make changing and appearance of your app easier. To add a component to a group, simply drag and drop the components inside the group. You will see the components you added to the groups are now nestled inside the group in the component tree. With the group component you can merge a lot of components as one unit for easy customization. A web viewer. A web viewer allows you to decode a particular website and encode it into a mobile app. With a web viewer you can transform a whole website into app version of the site. A switch. A switch is a component that has two settings, true or false. You can get your app to do a specific tasks based on the value of the switch. That is, when a particular scenario is true something should happen, and when it is false the opposite should happen. The slider is a great UI element to enable users easily select a value from a fixed range of values to another, e.g. volume. A checkbox. A checkbox is a component that has two settings just like the switch, true and false. You can get your app to do specific tasks based on the value of the checkbox. A map. The map component lets you show an area of a Google map to the users of your app. With the map you can add the location of a particular place on your app. Animation. The animation component powered by Lottie makes adding animations as easy as adding images. For designers, animations can be created in Adobe After Effects or Halku and imported as a JSON file. For the rest of us, there is a large and growing community of designers who have created free and editable animations that you can easily add to your app. The video component. The video component lets you play videos in your app and project that are stored in the cloud. Please note that the video component is not recommended for streaming live video content. There are few ways you can set a video source in your app. Upload video file to your app. You can upload a video file as an asset in your project, but be careful of the Thunkable 50 MB app size limit if you choose to upload a file to your project. Enter URL to choose video to display. Enter the URL of the video you want to show in your project. The link has to end in MP4 and MOV. So videos uploaded to YouTube and other video sharing sites may not work. Loading icon. For activities that take more than a few seconds, loading icons can be helpful to tell your app users that an activity is happening in the background, such as retrieving or uploading data or files. A date input. A date input component is helpful when you want the users of your app to easily select a specific date, using native Android or iOS date picker. PDF reader. A PDF reader allows users of your app to view your favorite PDFs, legal contracts, arts posters, or maybe even a PhD dissertation, all from the convenience of your app. There are two ways to set a file to display the PDF reader. 1. Upload PDF. You can upload a PDF as an asset to your app and display it in the PDF viewer. Be careful of the Thunkable 50 MB app size limit if you choose to upload a file to your project. 2. Use URL. You can enter URL that points to a PDF on a web to display in your PDF. Make sure this URL ends in .pdf. Rating. The rating component is a visible component which can be used to display the rating of a product or content in your app, and allows the user to leave their own rating. A rating component is made up of 5 to 10 icons. An icon can be filled, partially filled, or even empty as seen below. There are two ways to set an image for your rating component. 1. Select from menu. Thunkable provides a menu of preset icons from Expo that you choose from. 2. Custom image. If you set the image property to custom image, you will be able to use your own images as icons for the rating components. Selecting custom image will show two new properties. Data viewers. Data viewers helps you to connect your app to external data sources. Data viewer list. Data viewer list create powerful, no-code, data-driven apps connected directly to Google Sheets, Airtable or stored locally. A data viewer list lets you connect to a data source and view your data as a list. A data viewer grid. The data viewer grid lets you connect to a data source and view your data as a grid. This layout works well with data that includes images. Data sources. The data sources blocks allows you work with the information that you have stored in your connected Airtable bases, Google Sheets, or even local tables. The data source blocks allows you to perform a variety of CRUD operations, create, read, update, and delete, operations on records that allows you have stored in Airtable, Google Sheets or local tables. To add a data viewer list or data viewer grid to your project, click on the plus icon in the data source section of your component tree.